people. This is your host Clint from Paralounge, and I'm doing a series of videos on problems that can occur at your drum circle. And one of the ones I want to talk about right now is the wrong instrumentation and amplification in your drum circle. I've seen several times on many of the threads talking about it, and I've experienced it, and it's something that occurs in drum circles, so I'd like to talk about it. Maybe we can share our experiences and share how we dealt with it and things of that nature. So wrong instruments and amplification in the drum circle. I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, so we're at a music festival, having a great old time. It's like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. Drum circle is raging. We have a couple hundred drummers going. It's an epic scene, and the drummers are in their moment of bliss. We've been listening to music on the stage all day. It's an amazing event, and now drum circle's raging, and we're in the middle of drum circle. And one of the bands that we had seen on the stage earlier, a brass band, and I'm not going to mention any names, but it was an amazing brass band, and they're pretty legendary, but they were awesome guys, and I'm not saying anything bad about them, but we had seen them on the stage and everything, and I'm sitting there drumming, and I look over at the edge of drum circle, and I see these guys walk up to the edge of drum circle, and they're holding their horns and their trumpets, and they got their instruments with them, and they're standing at the edge of drum circle, and I recognize them, and I'm like, oh man, it's that band. Wow. And we're like, that's pretty cool. Well, I don't know if it was their first drum circle. I would like to say that it was, because of the way they were acting. I mean, they were downright giddy, and you could see it. They were just like looking at each other, and you could see the energy in them just was through the roof. And they went from the edge of circle and kind of meandered until next thing I knew, we had a brass band in the middle of a raging drum circle. And this is a magical, epic, legendary moment. If you were there, leave a comment below. This was an amazing and epic moment. But it's a good story to tell for the reason that I'm talking to you now. Because what happened was these guys got in the middle of drum circle, and it's a brass band, so we got horns and trombones and just all these awesome brass instruments, and they are going off. Drum circle is raging, and the sound of primitive drums with a brass band ended up sounding so amazing. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. It was like I said, just this legendary moment. First of all, we had, if you're fans, we had these rock stars in the middle of the circle, and we could see that they were feeding off of us, and we're feeding off of them, and it was amazing. And we were like, man, this is awesome. And we're like, man, this is great. This is pretty good. Well, this is starting to infringe on our drumming. And then it got where it was like almost annoying, because what happened was they got in the center of a circle, and they really started to feed off of the scene that was happening, and everybody was getting down, and they loved it. It was awesome. But after about 10 minutes, it became a performance, and the whole scene ended up just kind of focusing on the brass band, which isn't why drum circle was there. That, is intended for the stage, so I saw it happen. We knew a lot of drummers in the drum circle. We're part of this community scene, so we know quite a few of the drummers that are in this drum circle. We're all looking at each other, and you can see it happen almost. It was just like very apparent. You could see everybody went from this moment of bliss to a moment of annoyance, because these guys were taking over the drum circle. And the only way we knew how to deal with it was, and it was kind of funny, because it was like everybody was speaking in their minds. Nobody said anything. It's just as drummers, we knew exactly what to do. And what happened was this amazing brass band, and I'm not saying anything negative about it. It was beautiful what they did. It was amazing, epic, and memorable. But it was our space, and it was time for them to move out of this space. They had their moment. It wasn't that type of event. It was a drum circle. So, all of the drummers, like almost all at the same time, it was kind of funny. Like everybody just started playing off beat. like we were in this really awesome groove that the brass band was locked into, and it sounded amazing. But after it was a good 10 minutes. It was a long time, it seemed like. Because we were really eating it up for a long time, but after it became a long time, we all became aware that it was a long time, and literally we just started like just playing whatever, we just started hitting these off rhythms that we weren't playing rhythms at all. We just hitting our drums randomly, and it just chopped the whole circle up and just shut it down. And the guys in the middle, they were playing, and then they just kind of like faded out when they figured out that there was no more drums going, and they looked around, and we're all smiling. We're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. We all cheered and stuff like that, and we supported them, and they walked out of the circle, and it was, and it was done, and it ended up being a very beautiful thing. But that's why I'm telling you the story is every instrument sounds great with drum circle. I have yet to come across an instrument that I was like, man, that don't sound good at all. I've always heard several different types of bass, guitars, trumpets, just all kinds of different instruments. Bagpipes, oh my God, bagpipes sound beautiful over the type of a drum circle. So I've heard all kinds of instruments that don't normally fit in a drum circle that sound beautiful. We had a young fella that came in and sat in on one of our drum circles with a bass guitar, and it sounded amazing. And he played for a long time, and we all just grooved with him for a long time. And then he was respectful, and he put the guitar away and let us have our drum circle. And that's what that's why I'm telling you this story, is because wrong instrumentation and amplification, while is beautiful and welcomed, it also after a period of time there needs to be a point of respect and where that instrument understands that it's not really a part of the scene and has to back out and let the scene be what it is. And what I mean by that, and let me explain that a little bit, is the drum circle is its own entity, its own animal, so to speak. And all the ingredients that make up the drum circle is what people are attracted to. And it's called a drum circle for a reason. The drumming that's happening is all hand percussion. There's no amplification. There's no electricity being used. So a lot of people, including myself, are attracted to that for reasons behind, like, say, a cultural value of being in the moment of, say, a primitive space. I'm not sure how to explain that, but I myself, I love to camp. I love to be around animals. I'm an animal lover, and I love. I'm an earth person. I love everything about my planet, and the drumming connects me. It makes me feel like I'm connected to the planet and connected to it more of a primitive energy. And that's just from my own perspective, and that's how I want to explain myself to you. Is I personally, when I'm drumming, especially in a beautiful drum circle where everything's functioning correctly and everybody's happy, it makes me feel like I'm connected to all these people, and I'm connected to all of my ancestors. Like, in my imagination, I can see people drumming and dancing and celebrating the human experience, all the way back, pre-recorded history, beyond our imagination. So when I'm drumming, I like to tap into that and feel like I'm not only in this moment, but I'm in all of those moments. And it makes me emotional just to talk about it. But that's the kind of connection and the type of emotional connection I have to the drumming. Not only am I drumming with you, but I feel like I'm drumming with everybody who has ever drummed, so, and I feel I'm getting emotional just talking about it. So I hope that helps you understand how much of a connection people have to the drumming and the drum circle, and other instruments that, say, are amplified or they're, made out of synthetic material sound like they're synthetic. They sound like they're amplified, and it changes the sound of the drum circle. And while it can add a beautiful texture and create a beautiful moment and create beautiful music and all of that, it does change the actual experience. So while you may have an electric guitar and you sound amazing with the drum circle, that electric guitar was not played by ancient man sitting, in a circle in ancient times. And people like me that are plugging into that type of experience, while I respect and love and think it's beautiful to have the guitar present in a circle, I feel like it's disconnecting me from those ancient ancestors who never heard an electric guitar. You see what I'm saying? I feel like if there's somebody in circle like that brass band, it put me in the moment and took me out of the time that my imagination takes me to. It took me and made me sit right in the moment and feel like I'm a part of something that is right now and modern. I hope that's a good way to explain it. It makes me feel modern when you bring a modern instrument into the drum circle. So I think that's how some other people may feel, and I hope that I can explain that correctly, because it does become a problem in some drum circles when you have somebody that shows up with an instrument that's, I hope that's a way to explain it, is not modern, or it is modern, it comes up, it is modern, and it's, it's synthetic, and you don't understand, if you don't connect with the circle the way some of the other people are connected to the circle, maybe you don't understand and empathize with the way they're connected to it. So there has to be, sometimes it can be wrong to do that, to bring those instruments and to amplify yourself. And sometimes, that can become a problem. And I've heard of it becoming a problem. I've heard of it becoming a big problem. There's been, a certain person in a drum circle that brings a certain instrument, and he brings it every single time, and it's a modern day instrument, and everybody at circle is just gritting their teeth, and they've been doing it for a long time because they're being patient with this person, and nobody knows how to approach them to let them know that while it sounds beautiful and you're a beautiful person and we like you and we think you're a wonderful friend, and we don't know how to hurt your feelings and let you know that your instrument is taking me into the modern time and pulling me away from that primitive feeling that I've always wanted to connect to. So that's why I wanted to make this video, is just to express my feelings towards it, my opinion, and let you know, maybe you know somebody, or maybe you are that person, that this could be one of those drum circle problems that people have to deal with, and that is bringing the wrong instrument to circle, or maybe amplifying that instrument. So I appreciate you listening to this video, and I hope you understand what I'm saying is just my opinion. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, and I'm just trying to open conversations so that we can make our drum circles work at its highest potential. So go check out www.paralounge.net and check out our website and see what events we have coming up, because if you like drum circles, you're going to love the events that we do. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good time at your next drum circle. Be safe.